Pretty simple. There. Hey everyone, Logan here from IGN and Nintendo Voice Chat.
What? Hey everybody, I'm wearing my 49ers hat. Even though today's episode, my friend no longer coaches there. Sure he's not too much, but I can still love the 49ers. We're taping the special next week. I'm very excited. For those of you who have tickets, I'm very excited for the show. But then in July, we're back on the road, writing a whole new hour, building it up. I'm very excited to do that. That's one of the fun parts of doing stand-up, is just trying new stuff and hoping that it works. So check me out. I'm going to be at the Comedy Vault in Batavia, Illinois, July 9th through the 11th. New York Comedy Club in Stamford, Connecticut, July 16th through the 18th. And then in Montreal, I'm doing Club Soda on July 25th. All these tickets available at dansoder.com. And then the full list of clubs for the rest of the year is on this poster. Go to @dansoder on Instagram or go to dansoder.com and see where we're going. But I mean, we're talking about everywhere. Albany, Baltimore, Spokane, Portland, Hartford, Connecticut, all the big dogs. I'm very excited. I'm going to be in Calgary, in Winnipeg, all these places. Coming to run and build a new hour. dansoder.com for all those tickets. Thank you for watching the podcast. And now here are two friends from 7th grade as adults. Now let's start. First off, I love the fact the mob glasses. Yes, dude. No, is this from last night? Is this from the green room?
Yeah.
You cracked the cheese from the green room?
I'm gonna tell you, that's from your specific.
From my dressing room.
And I waited the allotted time, 60%
Of the show?
to make sure that I wasn't gonna, because I was like super self-conscious about messing with people's routines.
What? Oh, it was like the act?
Yeah, man, business, bro.
It's so funny you took this to the dressing room. There's certain things that like just don't leave you in adulthood.
I was gonna eat it last night, but I fumbled one from the other bag.
I know.
Because I double bagged.
You backed up.
I had one out, and I was like fully gonna go back to that, and I fumbled one.
You dropped cheese it, yeah, but that's not the sin. The sin was created on my part. It's accident stepping. And then you can't just pick up the cheese it because now the cheese.
Yeah, but I don't wanna place blame on you in that regard because specifically I don't wanna positively reinforce staring at the ground. That doesn't help you socially.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying to help.
You're always fighting towers as it is.
Yeah, you're one of the only people that obviously we know each other since we moved to Aurora in 7th grade. But how much I used to apologize to my mom for making jokes, for like making jokes.
Right.
Like,
No, edit. Well, it was all.
like I'd be like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize.
No.
You and our friend fired.
Yeah, but we have to like. It's kind of weird because we reflect, but we were psychoanalyzing ourselves then.
I think
And
that.
then in college.
Yeah.
And then in our 20s or in our 30s, the entire time it was very interesting because we caught it early enough where you would laugh at yourself and would try to. It was like a tick, like the urge you'd be like, I apologize. Ah,
There was one time you were spending the night at my house, and it was like literally shock therapy because I was like, I don't do that. And then like every time I was making a joke, I was like, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I always think what was funny is I landed in LA on Sunday, and the first time since 98, 97 we rode bikes.
Yeah, probably
It was like since
probably pre Britney Spears.
yes,
Right.
Honestly,
Uh,
I think we could call it the Britney Spears effect.
Yeah.
I think her
Yeah.
coming out on the scene,
Yep.
we were done riding bikes and
Yeah.
just straight jacking it. We had gone from, remember the game we used to play where we would take a tennis ball and throw it at cars driving by, and then we would try to
Allegedly.
we would try to act
No.
like we were stopping it with our hands.
It's weird how there's like everybody has their things that they could identify. They'd be like, "Wow, I would hate meeting myself." It's not a long list, but like that's what like
A couple things. Number
like
one,
suburban tennis ball throwing and just driving, just put like
dude, if mine, I'm telling you right now, if I was in a nice Nissan Altima, driving to, let's say I'm driving to Alberton.
Yeah.
I'm driving to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm driving by where he used to live.
Yeah.
And my shit gets hit with a tennis ball, I'm over that fence and I'm trying to fight this.
Yeah.
Kid. Do you remember when that changed?
You know what though? Maybe we're looking at it all wrong. Maybe we should interpret tennis balls hitting cars.
Mhm.
Cars should say, you know what, that's a cry for help. Because these kids have no supervision, which,
I do not have that control of my anger of a tennis ball hitting my car and they'd be like, donk. Hey, those kids are going to do something.
dude. No, but realistically,
I would have tried to know this.
why did we do that? Because
Seriously.
we were spending all waking hour.
Winnipeg, all these places coming to run and build a new hour. dansoder.com for all those tickets. Thank you for watching the podcast. And now here are two friends from 7th grade as adults. Now let's start. First off, I love the fact the mob glasses. Yes. Is this from last night? Is this from the green room?
Yep.
You grabbed the Cheez-Its from the green room?
It was
Because I'm gonna tell you, there's
it was from your specific,
from my dressing room
and I waited the allotted time, 60%,
of the show.
to make sure that I wasn't gonna, because I was like super self-conscious about messing with people's routines.
Oh, like the axe?
Yeah, man, business, bro.
It's so funny you took this from the dressing room because there's certain things that like just don't leave you in adulthood.
Dude, I was gonna eat it last night, but I fumbled one from the other bag
backstage. I know
because I double bagged.
Because you were too backed up.
I had one out, and I was like fully gonna go back to back, and I fumbled one.
You dropped Cheez-It,
Yeah.
but that's not the sin. The sin was created on my part. Zach's going to step on it. And then you can't just pick up the Cheez-It because now the Cheez-It
Yeah, but I don't
is
wanna-
1,000 pieces.
I don't want to place blame on you in that regard because specifically I don't want to positively reinforce staring at the ground. That doesn't help you socially.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying to help people.
You're always fighting towers as it is.
Yeah, you're one of the only people that obviously we've known each other since you moved to Aurora in 7th grade. But how much I used to apologize to my mom for making
Yes.
jokes, for like making jokes.
Right.
Like-
No, and it was all.
Like I'd be like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize.
No.
You and our friend Byron.
Yeah, but we got to like. It's kind of weird as I reflect, but we were psychoanalyzing ourselves then,
I think
and
that's
then in college,
yeah.
and then in our 30s, the entire time, and it was very interesting because we caught it early enough where you laugh at yourselves and you try to. It was like a tick, like it fight the urge. You'd be like, "I apologize." Ah, dang it.
There was one time you were spending the night at my house, and it was like literally shock therapy because I was like, I don't do that. And then like every time I was making a joke, I was like, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I was thinking it was funny as I landed in LA on Sunday, and the first time since 98, 97, we rode bikes.
Yeah, probably
It was like since
probably pre Britney Spears.
yes,
Right.
Honestly,
That's-
I think we could call it the Britney Spears effect.
Yeah.
I think her
Yeah.
coming out on the scene,
Yep.
we were done riding bikes and
Yeah.
just straight jacking it. We had gone from remember the game we used to play where we would take a tennis ball and throw it at cars driving by, and then we would try to
Allegedly.
then we would try to after stopping it with our hands.
It's weird how there's like everybody has their things that they could identify. They'd be like, "Wow, I would hate meeting myself." It's not a long list, but like that's what like
A couple things.
like
Number one,
suburban tennis ball throwing and just driving, just put like
dude. I'm very excited. I'm gonna be in Calgary, in Winnipeg, all these places coming to run and build a new hour. DanSoder.com for all those tickets. Thank you for watching the podcast. And now here are two friends from 7th grade as adults. Now let's start. First off, I love the fact the mob glasses. Yes, dude, you always, is this from last night? Is this from the green room?
yeah.
You grabbed the Cheez-Its from the green room? Because I'm gonna tell you, there's
No, it was from your specific,
from my dressing room
and I waited the allotted time, 60%,
of the show.
to make sure that I wasn't gonna, because I was like super self-conscious about messing with people's routines.
Wow, oh, like the axe?
Yeah, man, business, bro.
It's so funny you took this from the dressing room because there's certain things that like just don't leave you in adulthood.
Dude, I was gonna eat it last night, but I fumbled one from the other bag
backstage. I know
because I double bagged.
because you were too backed up.
I had one out, and I was like fully gonna go back to back, and I fumbled one.
You dropped the Cheez-It,
Yeah.
but that's not the sin. The sin was created on my part. Zach's gonna step in, and then you can't just pick up the Cheez-It because now the Cheez-It.
Yeah, but I don't
is in
wanna-
1,000 pieces.
I don't want to place blame on you in that regard because specifically I don't want to positively reinforce staring at the ground. That doesn't help you socially.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying to help you.
You're always fighting towers as it is.
Yeah, and you're one of the only people that obviously we've known each other since you moved to Aurora in 7th grade. But how much I used to apologize to my mom for making
Yes.
jokes, for like making jokes.
Right.
Like,
No, and it was all.
like I'd be like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize.
No.
You and our friend Byron.
Yeah, but we got to like. It's ironic. It's kind of weird as I reflect, but we were psychoanalyzing ourselves then,
I think
and
that's
then in college,
yeah.
and then in our 30s, the entire time, and it was very interesting because we caught it early enough where you would laugh at yourself and would try to. It was like a tick, like it'd fight the urge. You'd be like, "I apologize." Ah, dang it.
There was one time you were spending the night at my house, and it was like literally shock therapy because I was like, I don't do that. And then like every time I was making a joke, I was like, I'm sorry, I apologize,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I was thinking it was funny as I landed in LA on Sunday, and the first time since 98, 97, we rode bikes.
Yeah, probably
It was like since
probably pre Britney Spears.
yes,
Right.
honestly,
Uh,
I think we could call it the Britney Spears effect.
yeah.
I think her coming out on the scene,
Yep.
we were done riding bikes and
Yeah.
just straight jacking. We had gone from remember the game we used to play where we would take a tennis ball and and then we would try to
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Uh,
We would try to after
no.
we were stopping it with our hands.
It's weird how there's like everybody has their things that they could identify. They'd be like, "Wow, I would hate meeting myself." It's not a long list, but like that's one like
A couple things.
like
Number one,
suburban tennis ball throwing and just driving, just put like
dude, it's mine. I'll tell you right now. I was in a nice Nissan Altima. driving to, let's say I'm
doing?
let's say I'm driving to Alberton.
Yeah.
Right? I'm driving to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm driving by where you used to live.
Yeah.
And my shit gets hit with a tennis ball. I'm over that fence and I'm trying to fight this.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that changed?
You know what though? Maybe we're looking at it all wrong. Maybe we should interpret tennis balls hitting cars.
Mhm.
Cars should say, you know what, that's a cry for help. Because these kids have no supervision, which, you know,
I
like,
do not have that control of my anger of a tennis ball hitting my car and be like, don't. Hey, those kids are going to do something.
dude. No, but realistically,
I would have tried to do it.
why did we do that? Because we were 24, all waking hours, like doing our own thing.
Yeah.
I think sooner than I'd be comfortable allowing my daughter to do.
Oh, 100%. Now that you're a parent, you're like, there's no way I would allow her at 13 years old to go to Albertsons and turn off the automatic doors like you know.
No, just like go.
Oh yeah, go. You
Just
leave it
go.
out.
Like
You leave
all
it
the
out.
things we would. I
Yeah,
mean,
we would like in middle school, like summers in middle school, we would go from like spending the night at my house, and then we'd just ride our bikes to like someone else's house and hang out all day.
it was a situation where if we were more attractive, we would be trafficked.
Yes. God, if we were sexy, we would have been snatched.
You know,
up.
like,
But dude, talking about hating ourselves.
yeah.
If I were at a grocery store and a kid turned off the automatic door like we used to do, because I was on our.
I'm so proud of that.
Yeah. You know, so we used
No,
to.
because and it was so
have I
bold
told-
too.
Have I
Because
told you this story?
yeah, but you
So
were
when we
tall
were-
enough though. You were like
I was
you were a
like-
tall kid then.
Yeah.
So it was also like a beyond our reach of things that you could do.
Well, we
It was
found
like-
out. We
yeah.
found out through another
Yeah.
kid that I don't know if this is still how it is. Can't quote me on this.
Yeah,
But
we don't know where the technology's at.
It's obviously advanced. We're talking about
No.
late 90s. There was a switch, like
Manual.
a manual switch on the top right of an electronic, of like the automatic door.
Yeah, like one of those old metal ones that's like got a
exactly.
like
And you
a-
could flip it in any
yeah.
direction.
Yeah, but it's a hard flip, and you get it going. You
Yeah.
get stuff.
So you flip it
Yeah.
southwest. You knock it down
Yeah.
southwest, and what it would do is it would open the automatic door, and then it would shut it. Then the sensor didn't work. So then what we would do is we would lock the automatic door,
Yeah.
and then we'd go around to the
Then
side.
we would watch.
We would just sit there and watch people. You have no idea the
Yeah.
faith that people have in automatic doors.
No.
They just assume
No.
it's going to open. Dude,
No, but it's always interesting. It's like way different vibes on once they get their bearings, because it's
Yeah.
like what just happened.
Yeah, it's the confusion.
Right, and then, all right, am I gonna double down? Am I gonna lose my mind and do this? Am I gonna yell, like, automatically breathe out, manager, like Karen?
Yes, I bet
Right.
now.
Yeah,
I bet right now
Yeah.
there's way more Karen energy of like,
Yeah.
how could you let this happen? Back in the day, motherfuckers were taking their bumps
Yeah.
and then just either manually opening it and getting their the grocery cart. It's all about the grocery cart would hit the door and then it would hit them.
Yeah.
The one that I felt bad about, that I distinctly remember,
The
was
only
where
one.
the side was there was like I want to say a 3 or 4 year old kid in the cart, and the cart hit and the kid just went down.
but like,
If that happened,
those are the risks you take when you're playing that game.
Mhm.
It wasn't for the lighthearted.
yeah,
There were risks. Parents could be called.
yeah, parents could be called.
It
We
was
got called.
we were good at not getting captured
Yeah.
by known like
My mom and your mom had no idea we were doing this.
no.
They did not know we were going to Albertsons to play kickball. Remember that?
Yes.
And then one time we kicked the ball, because we'd go in the middle of the aisle and play kickball. We'd like roll, you know those like,
Yeah.
you know those big things that are filled with bouncy balls?
Yes.
We'd grab a couple and we would play kickball. And then a couple times you launch it and it'd go up into the sign. You remember that when the sign came out? The sign for the aisles went like, dude, shit. And we just ran. But, and I think this is why we both ended up drinking and having to quit. That rush of like breaking the sign and being like,
and also we were just habitual line steppers, but we kind of looked at it like this. We're not stealing anything.
Exactly. The bad kids steal stuff. We're playing an innocent game of kickball in your grocery store. Sure, we're locking your door.
But it's like, so like, you know, like, I mean, you're welcome, parents and people in the store. You know?
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in that Albertsons, which is now like.
But maybe people didn't like, maybe they gave us some grace because we really pressed the patience. Maybe they gave us grace because they're like, you know what? Good boy, kids. We overcome this.
State of society.
Yeah, just because your father still love you doesn't mean the world won't.
Yeah, but we would do fun stuff. We would do bad stuff. We would do prank phone calls. And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's always funny because I see a lot of the guys that we used to hang out with in middle school that would do the bad stuff, and then there's just like dudes now.
No, we played this to the same, like, we were playing the same game the entire time from the onset, where it was like, no. The game is not to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Now, how far can we push, and how crazy can we get within the rule? It was non-negotiable. Our fear was driving us, like, we weren't getting in trouble.
We weren't getting in trouble because we were friendly.
Yeah, and we were quick enough.
And we did not want to get in trouble.
We scouted the mid-40s.
A lot of those guys we were friends with weren't scared to get in trouble. So they would do crazy shit.
Yeah.
We were like, we're not getting caught. And then, you remember when you blew yourself up in 8th grade because I got cheated on by my girlfriend and you left that voicemail? I always tell people that was the moment where I was like, Mike is ride or die.
Always happened.
Yeah, always happened. But 8th grade, in between 8th grade and freshman year, you were chilling at my house, and you were like, I found out some information from a girl that we went to school with, that the girl I was, Lauren, was like, she was like, hey, Dan's girlfriend cheated on him twice. Yeah. And I was like,
that was our first experience in that the heartbreak.
Yeah. Because we got better with women, but in middle school we were goofy. So girls liked us, but they didn't like.
We were ready to have a girl.
Yeah, we
were ready to have a girlfriend that, like, publicly was dealing, like. So like, I had dinner there.
And I know kids now grow up fast, but we were in 8th grade, 9th grade. We found out that there had been some fingering going on, which is huge. That's huge. That is adult version of sex. It's like that's 8th grade version of like.
I can't confirm nor deny anything above diddling.
That's it. But I don't know. She got diddled. We found out. I'm heartbroken. Mike, ride or die moment, calls the girl I was dating's house. This is during the day, it's summer, in between 8th grade and freshman year.
This is not my style.
This is not his style. This is what I'm saying.
I think was the point.
Yeah. He set himself on fire. Because we were
I think I was distracting you. I think I tried to do something crazy enough that you'd be like, dude, it's okay. I'll worry about you now.
And I'm not going to give names out. I would never dox anybody. But he called the girl I was dating. He called her T. And he was like, it was one answering.
Last name Rex.
T-Rex. Tiny arms.
Yeah.
Thick legs.
Yeah.
Thick ass.
Terrible at volleyball, no range.
Terrible. Pure carnivore. Only love me.
Terrible to have small little around.
she so this is like, and I understand we have young listeners. The answering machine was a big deal because the answering machine was the whole family heard it. If you got home and someone had missed a call, no matter your place in the family, you could listen to the answering machine. It wasn't your personal voice messages. It wasn't a text. It wasn't a thing that linked just to you. This motherfucker,
Speaker mode.
called. I was standing next to him while I did it. Calls his her house, dude, and you go, hi, you don't know me, but your daughter, blank, isn't supposed to have a boyfriend. The parents are very Catholic.
Oh yeah, that was part of the. Yep.
And he's like,
Yeah, that's kind of.
yeah, he went, not only does she have a boyfriend, but she cheated on her boyfriend with 2 other boys who put their fingers in her vagina. That was the thing that he stressed. And again, we're eighth grade boys at this point. But he goes, dude, I remember you being on my AT&T cordless, gray cordless, going, fingers in her vagina. And honestly, it helped.
Yeah.
It made me feel so good. He threw such a nuke on that answer machine. But by the way, this is how fucking foolish I was.
Yeah.
That happened. And we just went to road bikes. I think we rode up to your house. Might have gotten a Joe Cola or two and ridden to your house. Dude, I came home
Yeah.
and my mom was like, what the fuck did you do? My mom went nuclear on. And my mom could blow up. What's up, Trish? I know you're watching. She was like, what the fuck did you and Mike do? You called Redacted's house. She was like, Mr. Redacted, call me today when I
But
got
you
home."
should have known there's something fishy with a name like Redacted.
Like Redacted. I was prepared to get married and I go, Mr. Redacted. That sounds good. I'll take her name.
The vision on your vision board.
I'm putting on a fucking veil. I'm Mr. Redacted. But dude, my mom was like, what the fuck? He star 6-7 it, or star 6-9 it, got our number. She's like, he blocked our phone number. I was grounded for the I think like, I want to say the rest of the summer. I was in deep trouble, and she's like, and I just called Mike and got off the phone with Donna, and he's in trouble too. Did you get in trouble?
Nah.
Yeah! I knew it! I was like, no, dude, Donna's gonna see why he did it and respect it.
Yeah, but it was like.
Damn, my mom really, I
But-
knew I was really
But it was like because I was motivated to do.
I got
things-
cheated on and grounded?
No, but I was just because I was motivated at taking my world to new heights.
Yeah.
I went. It was like
You love the fight.
but it was like for us.
Yeah.
And I figured it's cost of doing business.
Listen, dude,
And, like,
honestly, I did those,
You know?
I did those 2 months of being grounded on my head. I did a nickel for the cause. I did my dime and I got the fuck out.
No, and it made my life more inconvenient. I think we started like violating the grounding, like once you get a good weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I started. I think I got reduced sentence after a little bit because I think my mom understood. My mom was great with empathy, and I think she understood I was very sad about what happened, and that you were a good friend, and she was like, all right, I think I can knock off.
No, she's like, I need to socialize with
She caught me prank phone calling a lot. And She was
Yeah.
honestly really cool about it, and I think I probably would have been a lot harsher.
No, she's cool about it because that. Now I remember this. I'm sure this is cool because like I do remember vividly.
You are worried, physically.
Now I remember this. I'm sure this is cool because like I do remember vividly there being times that you'd be all rambunctious and you'd toe the line with your mom, which was
Yeah.
rare,
Yeah.
but it's because you could feel that like you were on a comedic rhythm at the time. And if it was funny enough,
She let it go.
so So, but it was like, it was cool because, like, if it wasn't funny enough,
I was in trouble.
oh, you were.
I swear to God, that's 100%.
You apologize.
Yeah, dude,
I apologize.
I
I apologize.
you don't understand. That's how him and Byron, my two best friends, would make fun of me. All 7th grade. Great. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah.
Dude,
Danny didn't finish your milk with something
weird.
I mean,
Something weird like that.
but she wouldn't necessarily be. She would just be like very assertive, but she wouldn't be like, you have to drink the milk
Yeah.
or something happens. You would prematurely rush to the.
Oh.
I apologize. We couldn't even find out where it was going. You know.
Yeah.
Right?
I would 100% lead with an apology, not know
Yeah.
what I mean. Dude, when I started going to therapy, my therapist was like, "Can I watch your stand-up?" And I did a comprehensive half hour, and I had it on a DVD, and I gave it to him, and he watched it. And in the next therapy session, I go in and he goes, "Why do you apologize for all your jokes?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up." And he's like, "You apologize before you make jokes."
No.
And I was like, "You don't understand." 7th and 8th grade, my friends would always go, "I apologize." That was like the impression we did. You still do it. It was like crazy to see that, and it was in my late 20s.
But
Early 30s.
the coolest thing in the world is like figuring new stuff out about yourself,
Yeah.
and then being able to recognize it and not overcooking it, minimizing it, but then laughing at yourself. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Those are 3 apologies
Yeah.
in 30 seconds. Middle school dudes are calling me out.
Yeah.
Adjustment needed.
Adjust it. Adjust and then readjust. I mean, I think that's what's been crazy about watching you through your career make you proper at
You've been watching me?
from afar. I bugged you.
Oh.
I put a bug on you at a slumber party in 8th grade. I was like, I had you trapped like a bison.
That's better than I was in your house.
Yeah. Who's in your house?
Unannounced.
Oh, dude. Remember sneaking out of your house?
Yeah.
You used to get so good. Sorry, not going to you used to get so good at sneaking out of your house.
Again.
Not getting caught.
We never
You would
got
leave
caught.
for the whole night.
Yeah. But we applied our ambition, or is it our thirst for life,
Yeah.
and like we're like, hey, listen, we can't be successful starting a money-making business or really doing anything productive, but we can scheme our way into doing things that we shouldn't do, that we get in trouble for, but we won't get caught for.
Scheming, dude.
Yeah.
We're all about, middle school's all about scheming. It's all about what schemes can you get away with. And it was great. I was all about schemes, dude.
Dude, well, it's kind of, as you reflect on it, what weirdos we are in middle school. Like, dude, just be above board. Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
And you're not here to be
Yeah.
fine. But we would dude, we'd wait for your mom and stepdad to go sleep, and we'd sneak out and then just be outside. We'd just be out there. No way to contact. By the way, if something happened to us, it would have looked like we were just straight up.
We spent a lot of time in the pathways on the way to Indian, or right by Indian Ridge Elementary School, but on the pathway to Laredo and Smoky Hill.
Yeah.
We were in the cuts in Mission Viejo.
Yeah.
Dipping, dodging.
So what's funny was last night at Shane's show at the Hollywood Bowl,
Which was so wild, man. Like,
it was
you're at such a good place, but you know what's funny? Being on the show, like, I could, in one hand say, I could, can you believe this? And the whole time, I'm like, dude, I know Thomas. I saw this coming, because it's like, pretty simple formula.
yeah.
Passion, talent, and just intentionality towards that over time.
Yeah. Which I think is a thing that you and I share exactly the same thing. Which is, what's so funny is, last night was the first night I had met Christian McCaffrey in person, right?
Yeah.
Like, social media or whatever, and good friends with Shane.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a 49er fan.
And then you're like, oh, he's more attractive than
I go, well, hell, look. I actually put my glasses down and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there were transition lenses that just came in, so it was
But,
like,
he's a Colorado legend. But
Yeah.
what's crazy is his brother, he worked with his brother,
Max McCaffrey.
Max McCaffrey. You've known the McCaffreys since you were a ball boy.
Yes.
I mean, since we were 13,
Yeah.
13 to 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were there the 90, what were you there, 96 through 99?
Yeah, shout out,
Post Super Bowl?
shout out post Avalanche and Coors Field, Denver
Yes.
time period.
You were post.
You know,
Post
right in
Avalanche.
that little pocket.
Coors Field, brand new.
We were smart enough kids that we knew Y2K was fraudulent.
Absolutely. I remember we were both at the
That's
same
funny.
New Year's Eve party in
Yeah.
1999. We were at Anne-Marie. Might have to block that.
Yeah.
But that was in Pine Street, and we were all at the same party, and everyone was like, we all knew Y2K wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember exactly where we were, and I was like out back smoking cigarettes.
Ooh, okay. Mad Dog 2020s.
A lot of it. I'll see your Mad Dog 2020,
Oh.
and I'll raise you drinking puckers with Dennis. You guys used to drink you guys used to drink,
No, because that was at the age that was like,
you needed
Like-
a sweetened alcohol.
and just to have alcohol superseded whether or not that was a legit drink for a dude to have.
Yes.
It was like,
If it had booze in it,
Yeah.
no one gave a shit. You're like, damn, you got
Yeah.
alcohol.
it was
Also, it was probably a sign of things to come that I enjoyed whiskey at 16. I was like,
No.
hey, this is pretty rad. What's this?
No. We'd keel over and think it was like devil's blood.
Yeah. I remember Jägermeister. I got really good. But what was crazy was me and Christian, we talked about so much Colorado high school football stuff.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And he was like, where did you and Mike go to middle school? And I was like, Laredo. He's like, all my friends went to Laredo. And you're like, that was a very fun middle school because it was like all these neighborhoods around.
Yeah.
All these different kids that went to that middle school. And
Yeah.
it's like fun to be like, dude, that's crazy. You were there 20 years before Chris.
No, it was.
Well, you didn't go there. But
Well, because it was right on the line of like a 20-year distinction
Yeah.
of suburban sprawl.
Yes.
So then it was like super modest middle class.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like mumsies.
Yeah.
And or just so.
Or Katy City, Shenandoah. You were like right by where there was like a gated community where you're like, oh, you have to talk to a guy and go to your house versus like
Yeah.
my house, which is just he's just out there.
Yeah. And these people in these homes that they go to country clubs.
Yeah, it was fucking wild.
And that's but it was such a unique melting pot. That's what was, there was a lot of,
You knew kids that were poor, and then there was like Denver Broncos players that lived not that, like Neil Smith.
right.
Remember how close
Yeah.
he lived to you?
Yeah. You know what it does? That's a formula to have a lot of white people listen to rap.
Yes. Who now probably don't. Who now are grown up and don't. but also, I also think you're looking at the late 90s, where I think hip-hop and rap was in the suburbs, like, because of the MTV.
Yes.
Because of how music got places.
Yeah.
People were getting, like, it doesn't happen like that now. Now it's pockets. You have, like, people that like shit and sometimes it'll cross over.
Uh-huh.
There it was like, if we're at the Taco Bell parking lot waiting to find out where a party is, people are listening to similar music.
Why didn't we get arrested? We're talking
That
about,
was Northern.
and it was for long periods of time.
What's crazy is, when you're in East Coast, you're Queens, when you're in high school, did you go to these parking lots and wait to find out what party? That's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like Katie did it in Massachusetts, and it's
Yeah.
like we were doing it in Aurora. You're just
Yeah.
like sitting there being like, who's got the house on?
That only happens with a ratio. That's what good with screaming.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And why
So
are
much white people.
like, we're out? No,
And we're not burnt
and at all.
at all.
Just a
And
little
then-
too comfortable.
Well, then what? I mean, thanks to my mom, my senior year, pretty much, you can just go to my house. Because we knew it. Remember when Joey Owens looking
Yeah,
back
that's
in the Mustang?
Yes, I did not like that.
So Mike got a sheep
No.
car.
Oh, I think I lost it, didn't I?
Yeah, it was by the way in
Oh.
front of my house. It was in front of my house. So we used to like.
Embarrassing overreaction there.
So we used to. By the way, I know Owens is watching this. This whole time, I know he probably. Our buddy Joey used to go nuts. And I remember exactly what he used. He was wearing a black Mark Echo with the red rhino on it, and he was in the backseat. He had a two-seat Mustang. You had a 1999
Two-door,
Two-door.
four-seat.
two-door, four-seat.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry.
No, but he didn't acknowledge the back seats because he was on knees at that point.
I couldn't do it. I could not get that back seat. But I remember.
And he has, if he had terrible flexibility in the hips.
Guess he's been stretching his hips for
Oh, yeah?
every morning.
Really?
Dude, I genuinely
Do you have a song?
I go, here go my hips. Spit it. I'm stretching my hips. Ooh. But I legitimately started stretching my hips.
It was hard, bro.
Yeah, dude, I need it. I like it. But we always just chill in my garage, smoke weed, cigarettes, drink, whatever. My mom was fine with it as long as we were drinking, or she wasn't there.
I didn't really smoke cigarettes ever.
Yeah. That was my job.
No, I'm saying really.
You didn't. You hated it.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I get headaches.
When I was in 7th grade and I tried it, you were like, dude, I'm good. You tried it like once and you were like, fuck this. Tried it once and I was like, this is my whole personality. I just always a back and cigarette. Hey, small business owners, if you're not using Square, what are you doing? Listen, if you have a small business and you don't have a big corporate overload helping you out, you know, those are the only reasons to be associated with the corporate overlord is to get the tools that you would need to run a small business. But Square, it's perfect for small businesses. It's behind the scenes of so many businesses you already love. Square gives you one connected system to take payments, manage inventory, run payroll, send invoices, and track it all from one. Here's another great friend thing you would do. You would go through the chicken while I was waiting on the side and ask dudes to buy the cigarettes. Do you remember?
Yes.
Sit with $3 cigarettes.
Why was there a play that I was the disarming guy to ask? Oh no, yeah,
That was good.
no, but I had the bucket.
Yeah. You had the fucking thing. After the phone call, you were really on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, and he's like, legitimately, be like a guy like me now, walking in the circle today, and these two fucking kids that come around the corner and go, hey, mister, you buy us cigarettes? And whenever they were like, no, we were like, fuck you. We were like mean about it. You weren't like, I'm so sorry, I'm embarrassed.
I was 4'10" in 7th grade and 5'3" by I think freshman year.
Yeah.
So, like-
5'6".
No, and I was like, maybe be better friends with girls and people and develop personality because I was behind the 8 ball like that.
Yeah, but you came into your own in high school. Middle school, we were both goofy as fuck. We were also, like, I was almost a monk. I was just like, trying to be funny all the time. But Mike was being very funny in a smart way, which I was just out here goofball.
Well, no, you had more tricks. You always had more, like you have voice manipulation, like
Voice manipulation is like,
you know,
what it's called?
like
Manipulate your voice like a
Yes.
frog.
no, but which can, I mean that's way more effective and useful.
Well, that's the great phone call. You and that kid.
Well, it's also for like calming your mom down because you go to your go-to, which at the time you always had something that would make her laugh.
Yeah. But then you
But
remember.
then, and you had, you were,
But when we go to football games together, I'd always play football.
yeah,
At CU football,
yeah,
CSU 7-on-7 pool,
yeah.
when we would like, dude, I was telling someone this story. Remember in high school, where we went up to Kearney for the football game. And then on the way back, the bus working the table. You remember?
Yes.
And we were all like,
Yes.
But then, do you remember that I bought novelty porn mags with Jason Garcia and Jaime Garcia?
Right.
I bought it.
Which is the only time that you kind of like fully committed to that sect of crew
Yeah, shout out.
was for like
Garcia.
was for like porn mag.
No, I thought it was, we stopped purchase. We were traveling back from Nebraska. We stopped at like a truck stop, and everyone was supposed to pee and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how funny would it be if I bought? And I remember what it was. It was Chubbers. It was a 3-pack. It was like Chubbers. It's called Chubbers. It was like Elderly Monthly. It was like 3 really gross magazines that clearly were like sick motherfuckers. And we were like, we thought it was funny in the truck stop.
Yeah.
And I had a fake ID at this point, so I did my cigarettes. And I bought it. By the way, my ID, it was clearly fake. But I bought the porn mag.
Yeah.
We were walking out to like show everybody. We got one on the bus.
Yeah.
And we got busted. And the coach was like, who fucking bought this? And everyone was like, it was Jaime Garcia or Soder. And I was like, it was me. It was me. And we all got taken off the bus and yelled at. And then we rode back. But someone kept Chubbers. And I remember like you and one other person looked at me laughing so hard that we were like, why did you buy this? And I was like, I don't know, it was the funniest thing they bought.
Yeah.
I remember getting fucking screamed at it.
No, but it was intentional. It was for the joke.
It was all for the joke.
And
It was the funniest thing to buy at that moment.
and it hit.
It hit.
We
It hit
needed
hard.
it. There was no AC. It was humid.
We were all going crazy.
We were coming back from a tackle football summer camp.
By the way, he was not allowed in our state. We had to go to a different state.
Twice.
They were like, hey, you can't tackle until August. And our coach was
We
like,
don't fool them.
yeah. Our coach was like, found a loophole. Early July, we're going up to
Distance.
Nebraska. And then we just drove up to this fucking football game. And went full contact in the middle of the summer. Dude, I remember that. Yeah, that was like, I remember that bus breaking down and walking. It was like boarded with cops.
Yeah.
We all went fucking crazy. We were like, it was just like bus in the middle of the summer. It was,
I remember when you ate that dude's ear.
look,
You just ate it.
just ate it.
Yeah, because we were going.
Oh yeah, we're going crazy.
Just cannibal.
Yeah. That'd be funny if that's the clip from the podcast. And they go, Dan Soder murder of another boy in high school.
Another.
Kill boys, bro. Did you just give up and you're killing funny boys? Dude? I love that. This is cool more.
Yeah.
This is great. This was like, it was very fun to go to your house and see you relax.
Yeah, it's such a cool, like I said, you have 12 months of really living outside, so for my 5-year-old daughter, like you said, I'm talking about instantaneous access to the beach. But then,
Riding the beach, I'm gonna tell you, there wasn't surreal moments. We were riding to 7-Eleven with Slurpee. His daughter loves Slurpee. And she's got big kids.
she does.
And so we went to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. Right when I got off the plane, he was riding, I was sweating.
Yeah, I got pretty embarrassed pretty fast.
But then
No, because he's being kind to me. Dude got off the plane. I'm like, yo, it just timed up weird, so we're kind of waiting around. So I'm like, we gotta go get the Slurpee. And I gotta stay on the front end of the idea and the excitement of the idea with my daughter, not enter into. So he gets to the house and we go, can we bring a Slurpee? Just ride it anyways. And I'm on an e-bike. He is not.
chill. He's just like,
He is not.
Oh,
And
no.
I got
Oh, no.
gas in a hill. I got gas in a hill, sweating, blowing this
I
hand.
haven't done this move with
Yeah.
the bike.
Yeah,
When you're
stand up.
standing up. Dude, I did that.
But this
By the way, I
is
still got
delivered.
it. Still got
Yeah.
that move.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, he hadn't lost it.
But my legs were going up the hill. My legs were like, no. And then, so, this is just real ego shit. When you gas out and a 5-year-old is looking at you like,
Yeah.
your daughter's on the back of the e-bike like, what happened to him? and I was just like, sweating, and I just created a song to make it cool that I was walking my bike.
And it worked.
It worked.
And just like in 7th grade, those are the things that are usually missed.
Yeah.
That was,
I was like,
it
I really
was a
did
great
it.
trick because she was chanting that for the whole way.
I was
She
like,
was chanting it when she had to.
I was like, I get
Yeah.
off and I walk my bike. And I was like, what is it? She goes, walk my bike. We were like, damn it, dude. It was great.
You're like in the inside.
But it was really funny to like be chilling and having a Slurpee outside of
Yeah.
7-Eleven. Shit we used to do
Yeah.
in middle school. And you're like, damn, your wife and daughter are this is really cool. It's just like a moment where you're like, I hope more people get this.
Yeah.
Have people in their lives long enough they get to kind of live a similar experience but as an adult now, and where you go like your wife took a picture of me riding a bike and sent it to my kid, and she was like, "You look goofy as hell." She's like, "You're so cute, you look goofy as hell." I was like, "I don't goofy as hell. I've ridden a bike forever." I had my knees are out to the side. I was like a fucking dickhead, but the time of my life. The time of my life. Also, the most school shit in the world, and you know, think about is sweating in jeans.
Right.
It used to be so cool just sweating in jeans, and now as an adult, you're like, oh, I gotta go home and change. I gotta put on my athletic gear.
Yeah, I'm usually not surprised. You're the surprise for that jeans.
Yeah. And I haven't sweat in jeans for a fucking long time.
Except for volleyball.
Yeah. That's only when I was playing with the boys.
The
Playing with the
no, it was cool, and I think it's equally you recognizing, you know, it was wild as the whole living circumstance, you know, things about for family. It was like equal as awesome to the whole another component of like the being able to coach and affect players and an opportunity with in LA with the Chargers. Like Harbaugh the coolest dude ever.
Dude, but what's crazy is, do you remember the old magnets you used to have in your room? You know, the NFL standings?
Yeah.
And you would like change them all the time?
Yep.
Like people don't understand, like when you're talking about you when you were at the Hollywood Bowl, and you're like, oh, I saw this. Dude, I remember you when we were in like 7th or 8th grade, this is what I was telling Christian County, that when you used to work for the Broncos, you would get media guys. Remember that? How you always had to stack a media guy?
Yeah.
And this dude would just read the media guide.
No, so I just
But you don't
remember.
understand the depth of knowledge of what they do. You're looking at like not only pass attempts and completions, you're looking at like third down on like a certain season, the like all this stuff that we used to just go through. And I remember sitting there watching Jim Harbaugh on the Colts after the Bears when he was captain comeback for the Colts. And we're just sitting there watching it in your living room downstairs with Gary Subwoofer. And he's very proud.
Super proud.
He's super proud of Subwoofer. You can always be like, that's a Subwoofer, you know. His stepdad. And he's like, all right, Gary. And he's like, yeah, his stepdad's name was Gary. You know, everyone was named Gary in the
No,
movie.
so when
42.
once we got to 2 Garys, we were like, dude, you know what? Let's just cut this rat race and marry a Katie.
Let's both marry. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that. We were both married Katie. That is crazy. You never, and by the way, your wife says this all the time. You never met a Katie at any life.
I mean, one name abbreviated in 2 letters.
Come
It's
on.
not the way.
Easy to spell. But dude, I remember watching those games. I remember the thing I always remember is I slept at your house pretty much every weekend of 8th grade and 8th grade. And I remember you had a TV in your room. You had a bathroom in your room. Crazy. And I remember we'd watch SNL late at night on Saturdays, and then we'd wake up and watch NFL Primetime with Berman and Tom Jackson at like 8 a.m. in Colorado.
No, so like
This game started at 10 a.m.
quite literally you're 42
Two
or 3 year olds
yeah. 43.
that have the same interests as we did
Yeah.
in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So you go with some comedy and you wake up
and then go do football.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened last night. You're at the show, then you wake up this morning, you go to practice.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because that's why I love, obviously Jim Harbaugh to me as a 49er fan, I'm super into Harbaugh when he took over the Niners, and I love the khakis and everything about it. Is the Super Bowl, goes to Michigan, comes back, and then now you're coaching for him, and I love what I'm just like, he's the man, you're like,
Well, yeah, and like it's also like you want to always feel like you're progressing and getting better, and you realize as you go, you're as good as those who you surround yourself with.
yeah.
And check Coach Harbaugh's roster.
It's crazy. Look at Stanford. You know what? I'll go all the way back to San
Stay
Diego.
on business.
San Diego State.
Like,
San Diego State into Stanford,
Yeah.
into the Niners,
And-
into Michigan, into the Chargers.
yeah, and it's cool to, one thing that is super obvious is he's very adept at identifying, the components, players, and coaches to create a team.
Yeah.
But he's also just like flexed to me a sheer and utter complete security in himself and so much genuine authentic.
Yeah.
And he
He really is who he is. That's why people are like, I remember that interview he did where he was like talking about he just like puts you against the wall or whatever. And I was like, dude, I love that. And I also like the guy that doesn't shy away from saying he drinks milk.
right.
Milk is the best.
Yes.
No rules.
And like
Even with
by percentage, he's falling on the sword because there's too much milk in the game.
Sure.
There's too many people drinking the amount of milk at the as much as he likes it. Why is he the only one?
Why? Exactly.
Pushing it.
You know what's funny? When I used to be on the bonfire, Jay would always make fun of me because I used to go over to his house in Queens, and his ex-wife would cook dinner, and I'd be like, "Oh, can I get a glass of milk?"
Yeah, I was clowning you for the cold glass of milk back in '95, bro.
I promise you. I've been about that life. But
No,
you know who was the first one? Who was the
But
first
he
one?
assessed I like it more than I give a shit about
Yeah.
taking the shit, so I'll just ride the shit out.
Dude, I like
this milk.
I fucking love milk. And the first person, and I swear to God, the first person that stood up and pushed back about it was Shane. We had Shane on the bonfire, and Big Jay was like, Shane,
Line.
soda loves milk. And then I remember, fine. Shane goes, no rules, dude. And you watch Jay go, you know, like, and then Jay was like, very shameless. No rules, dude.
Yeah.
You don't understand? No
Yeah.
rules. And it does.
Yeah.
I fucking love milk.
That he loves milk enough to know all the things.
That's
not
why me
to
and
do.
Harbaugh, dude.
No, but
Warrior.
you're an expert enough to know all the things not to do after drinking milk.
Yeah. You don't run. God, you don't run. Lay down these
Yeah. You don't do the worm.
Don't do the one where that's going to come out. Yeah, there really is stuff. And what you can and cannot mix it with. Honestly, Thai food I would not mix
No?
milk with. Or Chinese food.
Ah.
But Italian food often poo-poo. And you will poo-poo.
Yeah.
Italian food, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I like a lasagna with a glass of milk. I'll see you in the comments section. And you know, I don't know, eat fucking kiss inside, dude.
Yeah.
I love milk.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And
Stay in
honestly,
business, bro.
if I ever do get to meet the great Jim Harbaugh, I will bring up milk.
It'll be exciting.
And I'll go 2% or bust. I'll go whole. I'll go whole all day. I won't go raw or skim. I'll go 2% or whole.
That's a bone structure that's whole all day.
Dude, like whole fucking green, bro. I am animated.
Man.
Do you remember when I broke my shoulder freshman year of football? And then I got on Percocet.
And then I remember you in a sling being kind of fussy.
Yeah, dude, I was a little bitchy. Cause I used to, well, also, I was working my way through a Percocet addiction.
Right.
Because they gave me all these Percocets, and I was like, oh, a guy was,
No, key, pre-awareness. It's whatever.
dude, they were like, oh, hey, also, we didn't really know this at the time in the late 90s, but you can basically map out if both sides of your family have an addiction problem.
But we didn't know anybody that had Percocet, nor did we ever have it. So when you took it, I remember you going like,
It was for real.
these are awesome.
Yeah, it was
But I can't like Spurny.
And dude, I remember I did a thing where like I broke my shoulder and I was like, and they were like, Coach Barker was like, hey, all right, so you gonna come to practice every day? And I was like, for sure. And I would show up to practice and stuff in my sling, and then it just slowly, as I kept munching perks, I'd be like, you know, Ryan's house is pretty close. I can smoke cigarettes there on perks. And that's better than watching practice. And then if I give him a perk, he'll give me a pack of cigarettes. And it was, and then, so that's when I got something. When I stopped the perk because I also ran out.
We didn't know that was withdrawal.
Yeah, we didn't know that was a thing called withdrawal. But also, it sucked. It's like I couldn't use my arm for like 4 months in school. You know what I mean? It was freshman year. Everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
Except me.
It's the only reason you weren't.
Yeah, there's a lot more reasons. I couldn't get good.
No, but it gave us an opportunity to develop personality. We really had to stand out for people to acknowledge our existence.
So something that I honestly said out loud for the first time talking to Christian yesterday, which never crossed my mind, because I love all our friends we graduated high school with, and I love everything. We really missed an opportunity to move to Grandview and be the first graduating class. Because like, if you think about it now as adults, we could have taken our whole crew of friends and gone over there and been the first seniors at that high school. Because I think about when we were in high school, and so another high school opened, a new high school opened, when we were sophomores, and they were like, oh, you guys can transfer to this high school, which is like a little farther away.
Yeah.
But it was green. It was like all
right. But we were kind of leaning into like, you know, not just your everyday suburban. We did a little edge to us.
True.
So,
We did like the little grind.
yeah.
We did like the grind. We did like a little bit of the. We did, but I out loud I was kind of like, man, we really did try to go to all their parties.
No, I
Just
mean,
on the weekends we'd be like, is there a party going on?
Yeah.
They're like, we was fucking fucking third
yeah. I mean, in hindsight, as an adult, if we were motivated from an educational, standpoint, it's probably the best move too.
Yeah.
You know, the most resources and
Newer resources, and also probably, our high school had international faculty.
yeah, it did. I'd say a class senior year, we had a bunch of people that, I mean, that's a weird deal.
Yes, there were like 4 exchange students.
Yeah.
We had a giant high school.
Yeah.
Our high school was like,
Graduated 700.
779 kids in the graduated class.
Yeah.
And it was like, our freshman sophomore year, our high school was over 3,000 kids, which is like fucking big.
Let's hit numbers.
I remember walking freshman football with you. It's before I broke my shoulder. So
And I was 5'3".
You were 5'3". I was like 5'10". You were, I was about 5'10", skinny as a rail. But do you remember walking with
Neck roll.
Neck roll, baby. Had to make it look like I was bigger. You remember walking to Tia Days freshman year?
As it was, it just looked like you were shrugging all the time.
But I remember walking to Tia Days with you on the first day of editing, being like, on that path.
Yeah, that was not, it's not cool
We were walking to
to be on the front side of puberty in the post-pubescent game.
I couldn't say that better myself. Freshman football,
Yeah.
and there's other men that'll agree with you that were on the wrong side of it, like we were. If you're not one of these guys that gets beaten until you're 15 or 16, freshman football is a fucking nightmare. Because there's guys like Garrett May who showed up a man freshman year. He's one of our, he's still one of my best friends.
He just fast tracked. You know,
Yeah.
like
Remember who showed up though? He was doing, he was repping 225.
Yeah,
And we were like, what the fuck is this? He like looked like little boys, and we were like, what is, we had long hair, we had bob cuts, they were like long hair, and we were like, what is this? And Garrett May's like, this fucking rat at 225.
just
Dude, I remember, but Kurt Dooley, who by the way I had lunch with, he lives in Indianapolis.
yeah.
He says, what's up?
Sup,
What's up, Kurt Dooley?
man?
He was another guy that was like a full-grown dude.
Right.
Like freshman year.
Yeah.
He had like veins in his arm. He had like biceps with veins in him. And Mike and I were straight up little boys.
Yep.
And we walked. I spent the night at his house during 2 days, where you do 2 football runs a day. And like on the third day of 2 days, full contact. We were doing hitting drills. And I remember Mike and I walking from your house, which is walking distance in the high school.
It was a stressful situation.
It was like, dude, I remember how it smelled, the dew. It was like early in the morning, and I remember expressing the fear I had to Mike as we were walking to school, where I was like, "Shoot, we're gonna go against like Marcus Sias and like Gurley and fucking Dan, who were like all men, and we're like." And I remember that. I remember being frozen with that fear of being like,
Yep.
and then it sucked. I tried to call out Capstick. That was a bad move. I went for his ankles, and Garrett Bay knocked the shit out of me.
No, we were surviving it for better times.
Yeah,
We were
It really
crushing
was.
the opportunities to develop personality.
that is exact. You know what's funny?
It was a gigantic opportunity.
I know
You're gonna earn everything.
you are.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree
Yeah.
that was the common thread for us from 7th grade
Oh yeah.
to late junior year.
Yeah. And so
Like late junior year.
at that point in your life, that amount of time is such a substantial portion of your existence.
Yeah.
Is
Feels like it's never gonna end.
it's the end all. That's
Yeah. We literally got the opportunity to find out who we were or what our personalities were in a situation. And I think that's what a lot of teenagers go through, but I feel like sometimes teenagers don't have. I think what's the importance is like our friendship was never about like provide. It wasn't about being cool. It was just like, oh, we're both kind of were in that situation.
yeah.
And it was.
No, we really liked being around each other,
Yeah.
and we really liked funny stuff.
Being goofy.
And like, and then we had like circumstance,
Yeah.
and we had to do something with our time.
So not all of it positive.
but we actually, you probably don't, I guess, succeed going through the city of New York
Sure.
had you not been combing the streets
Of
of
Aurora.
A-Town.
Baytown down. Yeah, dude. And I really do think there's like, I think a lot
Because
of
we had to like not really get in trouble.
Sure.
We had to not get captured.
Not get captured.
Yep.
Not change for the worse. Not sour. There was always this undying positivity in the face of shit. Of bad shit happening. There's this kind of like goofiness this like foolishness that carried us through.
Yeah.
Because I remember you were fucking really good at football. You were just undersized.
Yeah.
It was just not like
Wait a minute, I got so like my height was 5'9" my junior year.
yeah, junior year. But then what was impressive about you is you're just like pure commitment to the game of football. Of like learning every step of the way, whether it be Spartan football, AYL, you know what I mean? Then you move on to Smoky Hill. Then you're also ball boy, and you're like watching all this crazy shit happen with the Broncos. They win their 2 Super Bowls while you're a fucking ball boy.
Because of my ball distribution,
All the ball.
correlation causation. Fuck.
Dude,
Tell me.
I'm misremembering. I've told this story before, but I don't want to misremember it. It's a story you told me about when you were ball boy. John Elway's last game at Mile High Stadium, 1998 AFC Championship game against the Jets. You were ball boy, and you told me the Mr. Pibb story about when Elway chugged at Mr. Pibb at halftime.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was the coolest shit.
No,
it's
no.
like when you're friends with the ball boy at the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a Broncos fan, I was
Right.
49ers fan. You would tell me John Elway stories that you're like, that's the coolest shit.
Yeah.
in the world.
No, it was I was like, after the final Super Bowl against Atlanta, when he, like, the night of the game, or he finished the night, he was at some table talking to some people that I was too young to know, but it's like, in the Raptors, basically, just watching him, watching the big screen, his final game on the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've pretty much, kind of like you committed to your passion of comedy. I've committed a vast majority of my life to the game of football.
I mean, dude, it's been since, you know what's crazy is, like, I remember starting stand-up in Tucson in 2004, right? You know, we both graduated college in 05.
Mm-hmm.
Chad moved down to Tucson, and Chad and I lived at Huntington after UNC.
Yeah.
He was like wanted to stay in one place
Mm-hmm.
where he could like practice kicks. And I remember you were interning with the Broncos, the 05 season.
Yep.
That was the season they lost to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kubiak brought you to Houston. And it was like, we're off and running. Like, I'm emceeing at Laughs in Tucson, and then you're calling us on, I remember being in Chad's truck, that big gray truck again.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, do you want to go red back? And it was the Reggie Bush, Vince Young, Matt Leinart deal.
Yeah.
They cut it. And you're like, who are you taking? And you're like, we're going to take the defensive end. He's a Mario Logan. And I remember Chad and I were in the truck.
Yeah.
And we were like, who the fuck? And you were like, and it was just crazy to watch your coach frame then.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go, well, we're in the AFC South with Peyton Manning. So you need pressure on Peyton Manning. That's what Kubiak did. And I was like, fuck yeah. And now it's crazy. It's Kubiak's kids who are coaching against you. You know, like, you're going to play Kubiak's son twice this season.
Yeah, I have like a direct, strong relationship with every offensive play caller west of Arizona,
That's crazy.
Vegas.
Crazy. Because to me, it's like football to us is going to the Rick Neuheisel camp in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And we're excited we get to meet Deshaun Salam,
Yeah.
or Michael Westbrook,
Yeah.
who like comes with like 77s with all the campers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing, this is crazy, but I was doing prep for something, for like a show in Houston, right? And I get on this morning talk show, and I'm talking to one of the guys, and he's former Houston Texan linebacker, Ted Johnson, who played for the Patriots. And I was like, where's the CU? I was on the phone. I was like doing the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I did go to CU. And I was like, you were a coach at Rick Neuheisel's football team. And he was like, yeah, we had to be coach.
Yeah.
We were like on the team.
You don't remember me? You didn't pay attention to me.
That's what I said. I go, dude, I was one of your linebackers.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you weren't. And I was like, yeah, you were our linebacker at that camp. And I go, do you know who else was at that camp? And it was right when you took Miami's job. I go, hey, Coach Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel. And to me, that's what's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're just at a football camp stealing Oreos from the lunch place to take back to the dorm.
Yeah.
That's like all we were concerned about.
We knew how to scavenge.
We knew how to scavenge. And again, kids, what's the lesson? Go get caught. It was always not legal if you go get caught. But we would.
Yeah.
But it's like, to me, that's like what football is. It's like this summer camp where it's fun as hell. We're
Yeah.
staying in Boulder for 4 days.
Yeah.
And then we go back home to fucking the birds.
Well, I went to your work yesterday.
Yeah.
And what was that for me?
It's probably the garage.
I mean,
Yeah.
to watch.
But it goes back to the garage.
Yeah.
So just getting like.
But it's also means that, like, I appreciate and I remember all, like not only your performances, but then your self-critique of your performances over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I know that you're working at it, and to see what you expect in terms of results from how much you put in, and you watch it come to life. It's like, every time you're always improving in some way, shape, or form to like give to be with the audience and make it like the garage.
Exactly.
Because like
It's always what it comes back to. It's just the thing that you're
connect
the most.
with thousands of people at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
But it really goes back to like that moment where you're like, oh, this is just what it is.
Yeah.
It's just a heightened version of this thing.
It's just a social orgy. Right?
Stand up is a
Dude, you gotta be a generous lover, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's a key party.
Yeah.
And everyone's invited.
But you got a lot of work to do. You're only doing all the work.
Yeah, you all work. But you know what was really fun last night was, shout out to Shane Pavidas at
Amazing.
me on the show. And he's the best. What was really cool, and what I loved watching your coach Brandon watch, was watching him run his Kevin Hart roast jokes. He's like, we're almost running them like a play. And you were loving him. But the coolest part was Mike Lawrence, who's one of the writers for Shane, was backstage with us, and I've known Mike for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I got to tell,
This is when my
my
brain was leaking.
Yeah.
But it was like, what?
I was like, that's the guy that wrote the joke.
Well,
And
then
to watch him go
then I'm
like,
watching him do his art, and he's like, no, I'm really gonna make sure these jokes crush, because I'm gonna do them and pay a lot of attention.
yeah.
And like all the nuances to the art of
Like,
stand-up comedy
watching
is
Mike,
so cool.
watching Mike Lawrence like watch the jokes that
Yeah.
he wrote, and him like telling me how Shane made it better, or like what he did with the joke. So like, but that was very fun to have
Yeah.
you and Nick were back there, and I was like, oh, you gotta listen to this. And that's what I was telling Mike Lawrence. I was like, hey, this is my buddy. This is like one of my. I didn't tell you what to do, but I was just like, he's fascinated with joke writing, and Mike Lawrence was like, I'll tell you about my joke. I wrote this joke and this. It was fucking. Just in my life, it was cool to put you and Mike Lawrence together and go like, hey, this guy is a fucking world class play caller and play like because I play this guy's one of the best joke writers in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like fun to introduce you to a person that doesn't do the same thing you do, but there are parallels in what you do.
Yeah, like
And they're both autistic on a certain level.
have to be.
have to be the way.
What are you willing to do for success?
Give up social grace.
Taste the tiz, you know?
Taste the tiz to get to the top. Taste the tiz to get to the top and go! Get caught! Dude, I told my mom I was doing the podcast, and I was like, I don't know if I want you to watch this because I might admit stuff, but honestly, it's just like one of the coolest moments of our life was, and I'll never forget this, because you're a coach in the NFL, you go to Houston, you coach in Sacramento with Dennis Green, and then you jump and you go to Washington, then Cleveland, Atlanta. So I'm always like bouncing with you to all these things.
Dude, every single team, you have a fourth of the National Football League.
Yeah.
Access, brand, and team.
Yeah, teamwork. Access.
You ruin
every city. But then the coolest shit was you texted me and you were like, "Come on." When Kyle went from Atlanta to San Francisco.
I was very excited to send my text.
I still have. I have a screenshot.
I knew it was
still
going
have
to be. I knew in classic only child, dreamland.
Yeah.
The world is revolving around me.
It's happening. But this thing that
You said be patient.
and I did. You said me like that. But back in the day when I would stay at your house all the time, you're a ball coach. Gary worked with Broncos, you were a ball boy. Your mom was all in on the orange and blue. And your mom always used to tease me when I would stay at your house because I would wear 49ers now. She would always go, "You're wearing the wrong colors." And not but in like a fun way. And not making me wear like, you're around here when you wear orange and blue. And I'm in my 49ers stuff. Loved it, whatever. So Mike's in the NFL. I see your mom in other places, but I remember specifically it was the Thanksgiving game, first season you guys were in San Francisco. Jimmy G, it's when Beathard got injured, and you put in Jimmy G, that game. But I show up, it was the first home game I got to go to with you on the staff of the 49ers. And I remember I showed up and I saw your mom, and she was wearing 49ers stuff, and the first thing she said to me, she goes, finally wearing the right colors. And I was like, call back, Donna! What the hell was call back? That was like a 30-year callback that she fucking nailed. And I was like, let's go, nice. It was awesome. And now it's polka. I like learning new things when I go to when he goes to a different team, I learn. But I'm happy, and I said this on part of my take, but it's true. I'm happy to be reunited with these Harbaugh family phrase.
Right.
Who's got it better than us?
You know, I told Coach Harbaugh about that, like, within the first hour, because
Really?
it was such a memory of that. I think we, as a gang, we were still drinking at the
Yes,
time.
we were, and I was just been
And,
I was watching
Yeah, and it was just like, it was Packers.
Packers,
Whereas-
that was the game where
I-
Colin Kaepernick went off
Yeah,
for like 68 rushing and like 3 or under 3 throwing.
yeah.
Set a record.
Yeah. And the whole street knew that singing.
Because I was,
And you were on the front end of it.
I was very
Very
drunk.
screaming it.
And I'm gonna tell you what happened also.
What did happen?
Because I was with a buddy of ours that went to Smoky Hill. He lived in DC, R.I.P. Luke. He passed away. But we were drinking during the day, and this guy came into the bar and was selling NFL jerseys. And I bought a Vernon Davis 49ers jersey. And that night at the show, I
Yeah.
had it under my shirt in the 49ers won, and I ripped it, and I was like, who's got it on stage, dude? Like, after my act, I was like, who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Yep.
I was screaming that out, dude. That ruled. Most hungover train ride I've ever had in my life was after that game, after we hung out that night.
Yeah.
I took the train back to New York City. And fucking really.
That's
So now we got a drink, and now we can wake up with it.
Yeah.
And now we enjoy candy. You know what's very funny?
Yes.
Bob, when I saw you at Topgolf and you were at Atlanta and you had quit drinking, I think I was maybe 2 years sober at that time, quitting drinking. Which crazy is what brought us back to our middle school friendship. When you quit drinking, you love candy.
Yep.
You just love candy.
No, and you
And immediately we're back to both of us being like,
same.
oh, you're like, it's fucking crazy.
Have you tried this new candy?
Yeah, dude, it really became instantly like, yo, what candy?
Are you on that high cheese stuff? I got
You were putting on, you're the one that put me on the high
Of
cheese.
course I did.
Holy shit, I forgot. I'm sorry to all the exes I gave you when I was, and by the way, Katie was the one that got me on high cheese.
No.
She's like, you eat this shit at a crazy rate. And you have it good.
Yeah, but how do you get the caramel?
Yes. The ones with caramel in them.
No, just it's caramel flavor. It's just commitment to caramel. It's like pink soft Withers original.
Because that's what I was doing, is the Wither original caramel
Yeah.
apples.
Grandpa.
Which are, yeah, I don't care though. I'm starting to love hard candies. I'm starting to get really into love. And by the way, I know you're a jelly bean guy.
Yeah.
We could go, we could turn this into a 3-hour podcast where we talk jelly beans. Because,
Oh, what do you know about jelly?
brother, you just missed jelly. You just missed bean season.
Bean Fest?
Bean Fest, Bean Feast is Easter. I want a bean feast. Can we get that from Charlie the Chocolate Factory? I want to have a bean feast. They do Skittles, does jelly bean during Easter.
Yeah, which is
Not only do they,
kids are so lucky these days.
Welch's does Jolly Rancher jelly beans.
Huh?
Try them out. Jolly Rancher
No,
jelly
those are
beans.
two different things.
Welcome to the post. Welcome to 2026. We're in the future. We don't have flying. We got Jolly Rancher jelly beans. That would be us coming to the future to go back, like crashing one of our the sleepovers in 7th grade and being like, hey, we're old you. We're old Mikey Dan. You know, what's 2026 like?
Only
He's an NFL
information.
coach, not a standard media. Are there flying cars? No. But there are Jolly Rancher jelly beans.
Yeah. No, I mean, quite honestly, don't hold it against us that no one knows what the future's going to bring, dude. Back to the Future didn't even know cell phones were going to exist.
What a miss. What an absolute miss.
85.
You think someone throws... And by the way, cell phones kind of were around me. I just don't think they thought they were a drop.
Wow.
Remember car phones?
They didn't see us coming.
Come on, man. Call home and
She did.
In the G23.
Yep.
And she was JC Pitt.
Yep.
And I remember watching you make a call out of that. I was like, this son of shit.
You know, it's very good for calls to and from home to destination.
Right.
It's specific for that. No more.
That's it.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Stays in the car.
if I'm rebooking how the only time you got caught, you should have done the voicemail from your mom's. Then we would have been perfect. Then they would have been like, this is an unreachable number. What is this, a phone in the car?
Yeah.
We would have been.
But then at that point, what boundaries would have held us?
Then we would have been lost
That's
in
it.
nothingness of a boundary was like,
Turn the page where seniors wearing capes and shit.
yeah. Dude, I've been waiting for Dad on this podcast forever. I love you.
I'm honored, man. I'm honored.
And it's like, I truly felt like some people didn't believe I was friends with you because the way that I talk about it. They're like, I don't think this guy actually knows.
Prove it.
Prove it. Sorry for when I get loud, when I get mad at people talking shit about you, but I'm always going to do that. And most importantly, shout out Chad for being the third member of the trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
For your love. For your love, your big, strong legs. And good luck this week.
He educated himself kicking.
For real. You got an education.
That's a hustle.
Out of the ball.
That's a hustle.
Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Can I still get that Marion Butts jersey?
Yeah.
In the face?
Kobe Marion.
Jarred pasta sauce.
I'm not going to talk to you about whether the Rams overpaid, whether they are.
I'm so. Breakfast, a word that means the same thing in every language once properly translated. But what does it mean in those languages? Where's breakfast? We're doing breakfast around the world. That's what I was getting at. You saw where I was going with that. I don't have to. We're doing breakfast around the world. This episode is sponsored by Helix Sleep. When it comes to human necessities, I am a world-class eater and breather, but I've never been particularly good at sleep. So I was excited when Helix asked me to take their sleep quiz, which matches your sleep preferences and body type to one of their 20-plus mattresses. I took it and it matched me with a Helix Midnight Lux, which, as it turns out, is the kind of mattress that makes you wish you got one sooner. I told the quiz that I was a side sleeper, and this mattress definitely supports that, literally and figuratively. Between that and their comfort-adjust cooling pillows, I'm falling asleep faster, sleeping more deeply, And I think, dreaming more sweetly, the Midnight Lux was also named Best Overall Mattress by both Forbes and Wired, which means it's not just when it's out there, it's good. They offer free shipping in the U.S., a 120-night sleep trial, and a limited lifetime warranty. Visit helixsleep.com/babish for 27% off site-wide as part of their Memorial Day sale. Good sleep is the foundation of your entire day. You might as well get it right. Thanks again to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this episode. Now, when you translate the word breakfast into English, American English specifically, it translates to the phrase Grand Slam, which is a combination of pancakes, sausage, bacon, and 2 eggs your way. We're starting with 140 grams of all-purpose flour. We have 30 grams of granulated sugar, a quarter teaspoon of kosher salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Now to this mixture, we're going to add the wet ingredients. 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 1 cup of buttermilk. This should be room temperature, otherwise you're going to re-solidify the butter. And you have little butter droplets all throughout your pancakes, which is not good eats. Wrong show. And 1 egg, and a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk to combine. Pancake mix can be lumpy, should be, in fact. As soon as it's combined, stop. So this batter is filling a little thick in the pants for me. So what does that mean? So I'm going to thin it out with a bit of good old-fashioned milk. A couple tablespoons to start. Then we mix it in and use those lumps. Perfect. Now to make the pancakes, we can't find our griddle. So I'm going to have to use a non-stick pan, which to make pancakes of any appreciable size, I need to do them one at a time. So me. So you'll notice there's no fat in the pan. There's an old adage called the weird first pancake. First pancakes are always weird, son. Don't you worry stupid little head about it. But that's because of the fat. The fat in the bottom of the pan is what creates that swirly, off-looking first pancake. And if you're using a non-stick pan like this one, guess what it's going to do? Not stick. So you don't need fat.
Is it that pasta?
No. Thicken pans. Very good. Let's grab a heaping third of a cup of our batter. Drop it right in the center there. We're just going to let that rest until we got some bubbles coming up, and then around the edges, the bubbles are going to pop and leave little holes that don't go away. So we're going to give it a flip, and look at that. Come on. Picture perfect doesn't seem to describe it because we're shooting video, so it's video perfect. First cake is cooked. This guy's going in the oven, 200-degree oven, just to stay warm while we get the rest of them cooked off. All right, hot cakes are in the hot box, which means that our pan has been freed up to make the bacon and sausage. Same pan. All right, these guys are pretty much done, so in the last couple minutes of cooking here, I got a little bit of bacon fat left up here for my sunny side up eggs. That's the sacrificial bacon levy. Keeps the eggs at bay. We'll flank those with our sweet stackers. And of course, way more bacon and sausage than any one person should be consuming in this city. So what this means now, the big old pat of butter, the generous drizzling of real maple syrup, even though I think a real Grand Slam would have some sort of corn syrup abomination attached to it. Let's eat it. Is that what this show's about? I eat the breakfast? Oh, I'll tell you what, folks, that's a TKO. No, it's a knockout. It's the Grand Slam. There's just something about pork sausage drowned in sweet tree sap. It's good. And I love getting sunny side up or over easy eggs because you have so much dippable stuff here. Primarily the pancakes, but the whole thing, you swirl it around in eggs, it turns into a big pile of slop, and you stop eating it at that point. But it was great for a little while. Next breakfast, please. For our next breakfast, we head to the thick, warm, tropical air of Vietnam. Place I've never been. I'm not going to make food from, reportedly. This is why I'm following somebody else's recipe. This recipe comes courtesy of Andrea Wynn of the New York Times. Because, look at me. What am I going to share my culture with you? It's pancakes. To make a quick pho broth, we're going to turn to the pressure cooker. A cooker that gets really high pressured while it cooks. We're going to start by toasting some aromatics. I have here 1 cinnamon clove, 3 star anise pods, and 4 whole cloves. Those guys are going to toast for a few minutes. We don't want any smoke, but we want it to be very, very fragrant. While we're waiting for that, we're just going to chop up an onion. Just a rough chop. We just want to get a little color on it. We don't need it to break down or anything. No, just have it. So that way I have a nice big piece of surface area to brown. I'm going to cut this apple in half. I'm going to slice up that apple. Also, I got a big old chunk of several inches of ginger, which I'm going to slice for cleaner extraction. Let's plop down these onions, get a little color on them. We'll throw the apple too, and the ginger. Then we have 3 pounds of rinsed marrow bones. This is going to be our primary source of marrow bones. So we're going to throw those in there.
Is there another source of marrow bones?
Your mom, she has some. She'll let me have them. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of kosher salt to taste, as one might say, without actually tasting it. I'm also going to add this nice 1 pound piece of brisket. Now we're going to basically cover this with water up to the max fill point right here of the pressure cooker. Why do they put a spout on things? Why do they even bother with the spout if it's just going to spout all over the place? So this guy's going to go for a half hour, and then we're going to let it depressurize naturally. It's probably going to take another 20 to 30 minutes. So now we have to prepare the accoutrement for our pho. First up, jalapeno. Nice thin slices of jalapeno, likewise with some onion. You want to get really, really thin because these are going to mix in with the noodles. They're going to slightly cook in hot broth. So to take the sort of harsh bite off the onion and also to make it nice and crisp, I'm going to put some nice cold water for at least 10 minutes. I want pretty thin slices. I have this other chunk of brisket here that has been in the freezer, so it's nice and firm. You don't want it completely rock solid. Or if you feel like it's not working, you got a nice sharp knife, just do it the old-fashioned way. We're just trying to show that because it needs to be thin enough to pretty much cook completely in just hot broth. That's good. All right, the pressure switch is down, and we have some gorgeous pho. That smells so freaking good. Just gonna take out that piece of brisket and now drain the rest. There is a lot of fat on this, and we don't want to leave too much. I'm going to skim off a bunch of this fat. I want this broth whipping hot. It needs to be able to cook all the meat and everything, so pour it into the saucepan, bring it up to a bare simmer. Also, while this comes up to temperature, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Now, to assemble, we have our noodles. These are Vietnamese rice noodles, and they have been soaked in hot tap water until soft and pliable. First, I have our pressure-cooked brisket here. God, look at that. That's beautiful. And of course, we also have our raw brisket, bean sprouts, a few of our jalapeno slices, some basil and mint. Normally, this would be Thai basil, but this is what we were able to find. Normally, you'd add cilantro, but I have that thing where cilantro tastes bad, so I'm just going to add a little parsley. And before and after ladling the broth over top, I'm going to want to add a good squeeze of lime, a few twists of black pepper. Now, this is a very American thing to do, but I do like it. A bit of sriracha and a bit of hoisin. Now, for our hot, rich, spicy, fatty broth. That broth is going to finish cooking the noodles. It's going to cook the meat. There you have it, pho. Something that I've had a lot of, but never for breakfast. So this is going to be interesting. Let's try some of this raw beef. I love the raw beef in pho because it has that same sort of note as roast beef, that kind of metallic flavor in a good way. Like I love, it being sort of medium rare. See, like it cooks, but not completely. Like that's right where I want to live. And it just plays so nicely with that set of flavors. Let's see what the pressure cooked one's like. It's tender, it's juicy, it's fatty. It's not like dried out and papery the way sometimes pressure cooked beef can get, because it's so thoroughly marbled. It's perfect. I love a good sweat first thing in the morning. Maybe I just bathe in it and then washing it off and being like, I'm ready for the day. Not bad. So now we're doing French breakfast, which is the birthplace of the continental breakfast that you love so much from the Hampton Inn. But it's much better than the Hampton Inn continental breakfast, I'll tell you that much. It's a selection of freshly baked French specialties like croissant, pain de chocolat, baguette, and others. It is, of course, served with plenty of butter, fresh butter, orange juice, We got some jams, black currants, and apricot. And of course, we need some coffee. And obviously, I know fresh peps because you hear what I'm doing right now? You know, the word for breakfast in French is le petit déjeuner, which means the little breakfast. Well, anyway, so we're going to have that right now, and what we refer to here in the States as a continental breakfast. This being some light pastry, some juice, some jam, some butter. I mean, normally with us it means stale corn pops and anemic waffles and fossilized eggs, but this is way better. We should be doing this. You might be asking yourself, why are you not making this, Babish? The answer is I really don't want to. Really don't want to. This one is a gimme. Some blackcurrant jam, which would be traditional of the era, which is now. There's nothing quite like a real French baguette. Like, it took me 17 chews just for my teeth to meet in the middle, because it's so darn crusty and chewy. As you can see, the very confusing pain au chocolat has 3 bars of chocolate just kind of buried in the middle of this giant flaky pastry. Not complaining, just observing. I don't know if the French taste so extreme. I'm a little serious. It is 3:30 in the afternoon, and I still want this cup of coffee. Le petit déjeuner, more like le grand déjeuner. What? No, it's wonderful.
What?
So it's a wonderful way to start the day. A whole bunch of flaky butter and jam, and it feels luxuriant. It feels old. It feels like a way better version of what you get at the Ramada. And for that, I'm thankful. Thanks, friends. Next up, we're headed to China. Not really. We're just going to have some congee, which is a very popular breakfast in China. I'm going to combine 4 cups each chicken stock and water. I'm also going to throw a couple slices of peeled fresh ginger in there, and a ½ cup of rinsed medium grain rice. Traditionally, this is made with long grain rice, but recently, it's become more popular to use medium or short grain rice for its starch content. Now we're just going to bring this guy up to a simmer, partially cover, just leave about a ½ inch space between the lid and the pot, and we're going to cook it for 30 to 45 minutes until the rice is broken and you have a nice thick porridge on our hands. Not really, it would be very hot. Don't put porridge in there. A very popular element in congee is chicken, specifically chicken thigh, which I have diced. I have 2 chicken thighs here. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Shaoxing cooking wine, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt. Go ahead and mix that up. We're going to let this marinate while the rice cooks, so about ½ an hour. So the congee is almost done. The rice is broken, but it's still a little bit soupy. So this is a good time to add the chicken. Not only does it need to cook while the congee finishes cooking, but also the starch in the chicken is going to help continue to thicken things up. We're also going to add 1 thinly sliced scallion and a ½ teaspoon of chicken bouillon. So we'll mix, make sure the chicken isn't sticking together, and I'm probably going to let that go for another 10, 15 minutes. 2 sunny side up eggs in the sky. Might not be the most traditional thing in the world, but it makes me think of Mulan. And what are we all doing here if not just trying to think of Mulan? You know, congee's done. Just before serving, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. We're going to top that up with our sunny side up eggs, a little pile of scallions, and a whole lot of chili crisp. And there you have it, folks. Congee, a simple, hearty, delicious breakfast. It is the perfect balance of like 4 distinct flavors. You've got scallion, you've got chicken, you've got sesame, you've got ginger. And the chili crisp obviously is bringing a lot, and the eggs are bringing a lot of great texture, but it's really those 4 main elements that you gravitate toward, and it's just so satisfying. Like, when I first heard about congee, I was like, ew, overcooked rice? Not my bag. But it's actually really fantastic. It's like one of the more enjoyable porridge consistencies as far as porridges go. I wish I ate congee for breakfast more. Perhaps I will start today. Well, tomorrow, actually, because I would, eat this right now. Today. I started today. And that's Babish guarantee. For Brazil, we're doing pão de queijo. It's a very common breakfast in Brazil, eaten with coffee. It's one of my very favorite things to get at the Brazilian restaurant. It's a great bread. It's a great bread, and
What are we even doing here? Well, it looks like the fish life has arrived. Yeah, that's right. We did fish life a couple of months ago. We did their tuna. Now we're gonna try their smoked trout. Yeah. We went on the website. We picked it out. It's still available. And I didn't open the box because I wanted to show you guys this nice tape that they put, on the box. It's so exciting. You get this, and you know there's fish inside, right? And you get all these nice little pictures of the boat, and a life preserver, and a fishing pole. Yeah. We like these little touches, right? Open this up. Huh? Somebody's having an emergency in the neighborhood. Okay. Well, we get a little paraphernalia. I don't think I got stickers last time. Yeah. That's cool. Get the stickers out of the way. And then inside we got 3 boxes of this stuff. This is the box. Go away. Look at this. Okay, 3 of these. Okay. Yeah. Fish Life brand smoked rainbow trout, raised in Idaho, rich in omega-3s, 100% traceable. Now they say raised by the Snake River, right? So the Snake River goes through Idaho. Yeah, raised without growth hormones, antibiotics, and genetic engineering. But does that mean that they're raised in a farm or something? Or they catch them out of the Snake River? I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have any strong feelings about eating farm-raised fish because I don't, And I don't eat enough of any kind of one fish, except for Bella sardines, to where I would be really concerned about the implications health-wise of eating too much of it.
Come on, you hey! You want to live forever?
But whatever, Nice green box, just like the tuna, had a nice box. So excited. Let's go. Inside, plain can. Let's remove this. What do you do? Let's put this knife on. Okay, all right, very interesting. Whew, smells good, smells smoky. Like their tuna, the smokiness was a real factor, and look, this is all small pieces. It looks like they've sort of cut, half a fillet into a bunch of pieces, so it's as if you could reconstruct this, and then you'd have sort of fish. Pretty stiff feeling, about the same kind of consistency as that tuna, so seemingly the same tack taken with the kind of smoking they're doing. I think I like this better than the tuna. Really great. It's kind of dry, but the smokiness is kind of giving it this context. And it's well, beef jerky isn't moist, it's dry. And this isn't fish jerky, but I don't know, it's kind of its own thing. It's different from some of the other trouts that I've had, the canned trouts, where they're pretty soft and there's some flakeability. This is not flaking. This is really hey, look, we really smoked it. And unfortunately, I'm pretty ignorant about smoking fish and the kinds of textures that are achievable with fish that are smoked at varying degrees. This is a bigger fish than, say, like a bristling sardine, and the smoke seems to penetrate the fish. I think a lot of this color is due to the smoke, right? You got the sort of caramel color that sort of permeates the fish. Gosh, these are like little pieces of candy. It's a really sweet taste we got here. Extra virgin olive oil, garlic salt, brown sugar, and the alder smoke. And so, hey, I guess it's the brown sugar I'm really enjoying. Yeah. Like little candy fish. I'm not sure if this is like the kind of smoking that, like, hey, your average rainbow trout fisherman would do. They catch a fish and they're like, hey man, I'm gonna smoke a few of these. Or if this is kind of an unusual process, And they're not laying in the oil here. There's not a bunch of oil waiting at the bottom. A couple of these pieces have gotten a little bit more permeated with olive oil, but for the most part, it's not an olive oil show. It's warming up here in the Flatbush area of Brooklyn, so basically it's going to sound like a war zone from about 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the next 6 months. And I, for one, love it. This is the last piece, man. I always say it's a pretty good sign if I just kind of go the whole can and I don't have a lot of interesting things to say. Really delicious, really different. I don't know where else to find something just like this, so I think it's worth trying if you like smoked trout. The only thing about Fish Life stuff is you have to commit to it. It's a decent price for premium canned trout, but you wind up with 3 cans of it. But I don't think it'll be a problem. And a lot of people would like to eat this, so if you have one of the cans and it's not your thing, or if it's too smoky or something, you can give these away and they'll get eaten. It's not like some kind of crazy thing. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Look at all this fish I gotta eat. First of all, I owe you guys the exciting finale of the Trader Joe's series. We need some lobsters, French stuff, anchovies, and whoa, Patagonia Provisions sent me a whole box of who knows what, so we're gonna have to get into that. Bye. What are we even doing here? It's tuna time. That's right, it's tuna time with your host, Matthew Carlson. I've got 2 cans of Ortiz tuna. I've got regular time? Yeah, I guess it's regular. And I've got Ventresca, which is the belly, the toro, I guess. It's a little fancier, it's a little pricier. Obviously, it comes in a box with gold trim on it. Yeah, we're gonna try them both out at the same time because I don't want to fool around with a video of just this stuff and then follow up with a video of this stuff. Nobody likes tuna anyway, do they? Don't they? Yeah. So what do you say? Let's open them up. Let's open up the first one first, right? Yeah. Begin at the beginning. Ortiz Bonito del Norte in olive oil. Now, Bonito del Norte, I guess this is an albacore or a white tuna. It's not like, a bluefin tuna or any other of the jillions of kinds of fish that people call tuna. So open it up here. And, yeah, you wouldn't just eat tuna like this. But who do you think I am? I'm not gonna cook anything up for you. Okay, taking it out. It looks like very nice tuna, right?
Another fish called
delicious. Delicious. I sure wish, you know, this was in tuna melt or tuna salad sandwich. What else do you do with tuna? GD. Delicious oil. Good tuna. Tuna is very saturated with the oil. So even though these are like big, you know, pink plate. They're kind of big chunks and you kind of get lost in these flakes. Look how big and strong this tuna must have been swimming around. It's still good. You know, once you get to chewing, you're working through some stuff. I'm not gonna say it's dry, but you know, this is big. This is big flesh. Okay, this is the soft stuff. I mean, what's going on in this can is I can hardly, you know, distinguish one thing from another, or did we get a whole part of something, or is there any fat? No, it's just pretty lean. Okay. So, that's out of the way. Let's look at the Ventresca and see if we can start to understand some stuff. Ortiz, Ventresca Bonito del Norte in olive oil. Alright. Okay, inside of this box. Oh, cool. So, actually the tin has some additional printing. That's cool. I mean, it's still just a sailboat. Doesn't say anything about Ventresca on the tin, but whatever, it's cool. Alright, so obviously we've got a more put together thing here. And these are like just little, I don't know, strips of stuff. And I'm looking at sort of some of this business that's inside of the meat. I don't know if these are like little fat deposits or whatever. Let's find out. Oh yeah. Man, delicious. Okay, this is really good. This is really good. This is what I call fish. This is fish that you can kind of start to present as its own thing. It's not an ingredient. This is getting to be the star of the show here, you know? I'm sure in the comments there will be lots of good ideas about how you would actually use this stuff if you weren't just some bonehead eating it out of a can for YouTube. Oh man, it's so, these pieces are so big and they're cut so nice and pretty. And you can see like how deliberate like some cut has been, you know? Yeah, it almost looks like it's some kind of processed food or something like that, you know? I don't know, like somebody's made some little like weird fake turkey strips or something, you know, like my cats eat stuff like that. Wow, so, you know, I opened these two up because I thought, well, I need to compare them directly. What if it's not really obvious, the difference? Like, what if I forget what this is like, and then 2 weeks later when I do this video, you know, it's you know, I kind of don't know how to compare them. Stupid of me. I just didn't know. This is really good. I got one more can of Ventresca laying around the house here. I think I might just eat it. unless you guys are interested in seeing some more of this. I can't remember what brand it is. It's not like one of the big brands that sells like one of everything, you know. Gangarene. Okay, $18. Kind of expensive, right? Yeah. But then good fresh fish is expensive. Wow. And then somebody went to the hassle of putting it in a can and getting it, you know, delivered to you, I guess, too. So a lot of people kind of mark a fish down because it's been put into a can, you know, and preserved thus. But I kind of mark it up because it's like that's a process that somebody did, and it's a magical thing that affords me this this moment with you guys. Because if this was a show about me going down to the fishmonger and, like, you know, cooking fish in my kitchen and doing recipes for you guys, that's not a show. Who would do a show like that?
Stupid bitch.
It's dumb. Cooking show?
Hi, I'm Robert James. This is Gorsuch Green.
How you doing? 6'7", deadbeat. Yeah.
That's okay. And this is Jim Downey, longtime head writer of SNL, actor, subject of the new documentary on Peacock called Downey Wrote That, and most importantly, the head writer of Late Night with David Letterman from 1982 to 1983. Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, nice to have you here. I don't want to jump right in, but I'm going to jump right in. I am so excited. I am so pleased.
Has a really cool.
You might like to quickly. But Hamburger America in New York City, probably the most important burger restaurant in the whole of the USA. It's run by George Morris, who spent his whole career documenting hamburger history. Well, we're here to try and learn some of his top secrets for making the perfect burger. Cook in real service to see if either of us got the job. That was not gonna come together so good. You are the chef. Oh. Right, let's get into this mother.
Today,
That's me. Those griddles right there will make 5,000 to 6,000 burgers a week. This is the way it really should be. This is the old school way for hamburgers in America, was to be right there and be present. So here, look at this. The entire menu, which is small, can be made from here to there. That's it. It's only about whatever that is for 3-4 meters. Right? It's efficient. Weekend we'll do 2,200 on a week. We get a day, like a Saturday. Yeah. Everything we do here is based on something that already happened in hamburger history. So all those tools they used back in the day, over 100 years ago, they would take a bricklayer's trowel, the big, pointed thing, they used to cut the tip off. Basically what mine is a bricklayer's trowel with the tip cut off. This is very, very heavy weight. This one has probably smashed over 250,000 burgers, this one. What's up, Trey? How you doing, dude? This is a pretty standard, it's called a salad scoop.
so what's the perfect gram?
Ours are about 3 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's almost that's about as big as I think you'd want to be. If you get a little larger than that, then you start to smash it because it gets to be enormous. So it's actually ground pretty fine. It looks like it's blended almost like sausage meat. You can't really see what's going on. So it's instead of being red and white, it's pink. That's the only way to really smash a burger is to have the muscle and the fat blended better. The molecules in the fat and the muscle fibers are smaller. They can bind together faster and better. Because you're smashing, a lot of the moisture will actually stay inside.
30% fat, pretty much. Is that what you're looking for?
25% fat.
25% fat.
Depending, but depending on what day it is. But usually 25% fat, honestly, is just Chuck Primal and something else.
So base whilst it cut, basically.
Yeah. So it's like hamburger confit.
Yeah.
Not to get fancy with smash burger, but
No, I like that. We don't do this in the UK. No gloves.
it's amazing. We have clean hands. We just have to put gloves on.
Yeah, I know. Right, I'm gonna go for it.
Pretty good for not bad for number one.
Hey, wait a minute.
What you just did though was fun. You spent way too much time. He's laughing at. He's laughing at with me. He's laughing with you. So to find out.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. Look at that pace. You do out of retirement.
The boss is scooping. Oh my God! These guys will do 8,000 a week. You know. Gustavo.
Don't look at that one.
To really caramelize a piece of onion, it take like half an hour,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes to a half hour.